turkeys. That's right. Well, they did it. They did it. They struck ISIS targets in Syria. Those turkeys did. Yes. Of course, I'm not talking about the actual bird turkeys. No. I'm talking about the Turkish jets. Well, actually, that's not fair. They're American F-16s. But Turkey bought some and thought, hey, this might be a good time to fly over Syria and drop some bombs. So they did. Yes, in Istanbul today, Turkish fighter planes bombed Islamic State positions in neighboring Syria for the first time in a pre-dawn attack Friday. A significant expansion of the battle against the extremist group, the Turkish government announced today. In another sign of Turkey's new aggressive stance against the Islamic State, I'm going to leave that one alone. No, his name is Recep.
Yes.
Tayyip.
Yes.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Can't you just see the campaign posters for Tayyip there? Yeah. Yes, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan confirmed today that his country has agreed to allow manned aircraft drones from a U.S.-led coalition to use the... They're not Turkish planes, you lying bitch! You let American planes use your airbase, and all of a sudden now you're flying Okay, so we recant everything we just said about WKRP being wrong. Turkeys cannot fly. Yes, they did. They opened their air bases to allow manned aircraft and drones from a U.S.-led coalition to use the Incirlik air base from southern Turkey, of course, to launch airstrikes against the militants. The government said in a statement that the Turkish Air Force would also join the campaign for the first time, just not today. Our planes are not working. Well, during a televised news conference here, Erdogan said that terrorist groups must lay down weapons or face the consequences, and that Friday's airstrikes are the first steps in combating the Islamic State. Earlier Friday, Prime Minister Amhat Davutoglu. Don't laugh at me. You try saying it. Well, he said that Turkey is taking all necessary steps to protect its security, and the airstrikes represent a comprehensive process against terrorism, not limited to a day or a region, he said. The agreement on using Incirlik Air Base, long sought by the United States, apparently was reached Wednesday in a telephone call between Erdogan and President Obama. The White House said in a statement that the two leaders had agreed to deepen our cooperation against the militants, but did not go into the details of an agreement to use the airbase. Access to the base would put U.S. warplanes, drones, surveillance aircraft, and, it would put all of the Air Force really much closer to militant targets. The Turkish airstrikes come amid hiding tensions, of course, between Turkey and the Islamic State militants who have a sizable presence in Syria and have posed an increasing threat to Turkey. On Thursday, militants fired across the border, killing a Turkish soldier. The United States has been urging Turkey to play more active roles in combating the Islamic State, which has lured numerous fighters into the West who transit battlefields through Turkey's 500-mile-long border with Syria. Turkey's location makes it an important ally in the Islamic State coalition organized by the United States. Turkey has even taken steps to make it harder to cross into Syria. A government official told the Associated Press that 3 F-16s took off from Dakabir Air Base in southeast Turkey early Friday and used smart bombs to hit 3 militant targets across the Turkish border in the province of Kilis. The official, who spoke on condition of anonymity because he's not allowed to talk, well, he said the targets were 2 command centers and a gathering point of Islamic State supporters. The Drogan news agency in Turkey said that as many as 35 militants were killed in the airstrike that targeted the gathering point. The agency did not cite a source for the report, and there was no official confirmation, so I wouldn't take it to the bank. Well, a government statement said the decision for the operation was taken at a security meeting Thursday, held after 5 militants fired from Syrian territory at the outpost and prompting Turkish retaliation that killed at least 1 militant. Also on Friday, the government said Turkish police launched raids in Istanbul and 12 provinces, detaining more than 250 people suspected of terror activities. The state-run Anadolu agency said as many as 5,000 police officers were involved in the operation, which also targeted a Kurdish rebel group and outlawed leftist group. Turkey's moves today against the Islamic State appeared prompted in part by the suicide bombings blamed on the militant group earlier this week that killed 32 people in a Turkish town near Kobani, a Syrian city just across the border that was liberated from the Islamic State, controlled by Kurdish fighters now after a long siege. The bombing was Turkey's worst in years. The bombing may have been a retaliation for Turkey's recent crackdown on suspected Islamic State operations in the country. In the last 6 months, Turkey has detained more than 500 people suspected of working with terrorists. This is a major policy shift, says Michael Stevens, director at the Royal United Services Institute in Qatar. For Turkey to start taking these sorts of steps means they're going to be inviting a response from ISIS, which means they better be prepared to see it through the whole way, he said, using an acronym from the militant group. It reflects the fact that Americans are puffing increasing importance on the Syrian angle of the anti-ISIS coalition strategy, where you can see much more productive gains from military operations against ISIS than you can in Iraq, he said. It also signifies that Turkey is finally acknowledging its own role in having a stake in the fight against the Islamic State. And you never know, maybe one day technology will enable turkeys to fly. Well, getting a little closer to home, how about Iowa?
Yes.
Yes. Swarms of mayflies are plowing off the bridge in Iowa, apparently. Snowplows hit the streets of Sabula, Iowa, a little early this year, but they weren't deployed to clear snow. Instead, the emergency crews plowed away swarms of mayflies, also called shadflies, that took over a bridge on Saturday night, WQAD-TV reports. The mayflies were piled knee-high, making it nearly impossible for cars to see, according to Reserve Officer Stephen Thayer of the Sabula Police Department, WQAD-TV reported. We had the Iowa Department of Transportation come in with snowplows and plow them off and then sand it because it was still pretty slippery, Thayer told WQAD. In the video captured by Tina Franzen, mayflies glide through the air and cover the windshield of a car that she's sitting in. And you can check this out on YouTube, of course. Just look up Iowa Holy Christ. And man, it looks like this car is completely submerged in some sort of moving, disgusting thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. And yeah, you know you're getting down to the real dregs of the news when you're putting out this. Thanks a lot, Jenny.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, many folks that listen to us, they don't know quite how things work here at HTLA. Usually, when I come in the morning,
yes,
Jenny generally brings me coffee, except for the last couple of days because of her broken leg.
Yes.
So she doesn't give me coffee right now, but usually that's what happens. And I'll walk down the hall and go up and check in with the CEO. And
yes.
And then when I come down, I go by the staircase there and sort of swing by Frankie McDonald's booth there, and I just open the door and sort of kick blindly. So I usually get them. I usually get them
yes.
good. This is Frankie McDonald. Oh! I usually get them good. That's people want, they're asking me these days, why are you wearing the steel-toed boots? Are you in the militia or something? Yes. Yeah. I'm going to get a t-shirt made. Nah, it's just Frankie. But, so that's how stuff goes generally every day here at the nation's talk station. Yeah. Just kicking them. But, no, Jenny actually puts together all the news stories for the day.
Yes.
So, when I come in here, they're all lined up and ready to go. And so I just start the show. And, of course, I read from left to right and go downward. And that's why some of these stories don't make any sense, end for no reason, or indeed go on for 20 more paragraphs. It's hard to get good help.
Yes.
Well,
maybe I got lost. HTLA. Right. Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
That's your phone. Did you just wake up?
Always with a female having a relationship, married or single, it's always better that they do the leaving.
Oh, yeah.
If you do the leaving, it keeps that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
That's right. Welcome back to Relationship Advice with Louie.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. We got it. All right. That's good.
Now, here's a story I'm sure you're tired of talking about, but I'd be remiss in not bringing it up, and that's when you beat up a transvestite.
Again, it wasn't a transvestite. It was a transsexual. Yes, I beat up Bruce Jenner. I don't know why you got to bring that stuff up all the time.
And now I have to bring up that piece of trivia that everyone feels like they're telling people that they don't know.
Whoa, wait. Let's hold on a sec. Why? If you want to take over the damn microphone and be a superstar,
yes,
okay. If you want to do that, see, that's the problem with you, Gilbert.
Yes,
you never think about the audience. Okay, now you could give us some stupid trivia about liquid paper or some bloody thing, right? No, that's true. You could do that, and everybody would be like, oh, yeah, idiot, I heard that one yesterday. You could do that.
Yes.
But that would be a mistake.
Yes.
No, and you see, you should actually let me kind of revamp your whole comedy routine and fix that, because, yeah. No, but what's better with especially when you have the attention of an audience and they are listening, entertain them. Right? You don't do enough of your Cary Grant canting,
Hey,
right.
Joe, hey.
Yeah. See? You're starting to get it a little bit.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah. So, why don't you, that song there that you did for Dev,
yes,
sing it again,
Take me there. To your heart, show me where to start, let me play the part of your first love.
There you go.
All the stars are right, let us make a wish tonight, my love. Pity those who wait, trust in love to fate, finding out too late that they've lost it. Never let it go. You will never know the ways of love.
There you go. See, and that's all you've got to do. They love you now.
Yes.
That's it. God, it's not hard, man.
Oh, and it's also there. It's like the songs are suffering and pain. It screams of pain.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, we'll give you that.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
No, Louie, don't.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, Louie, fill your boots, man. I don't. Well, finally today on the big show, thank God, finally.
Yes.
Yes, it's true, and it's the end of the show because, damn it, I said so, and I'm out of frickin' coffee. Well, how about a British teen accused of a plot to commit a college massacre? That's always fun. This story comes to us from the London Associated Press today. A British teenager planned a gun and bomb attack on a college that had kicked him out for bad behavior, the prosecutor said today. Liam Libbard, 19 years old, on trial for allegedly amassing an arsenal to target Newcastle College in northern England. He was expelled back in 2012 for being disruptive in class. Well, prosecutor Nick Dry told jurors at Newcastle Crown Court that the file recovered from Leonard's computer titled Newcastle College said, quote, "You ruined my whole life. I will teach you a lesson on respect with my 9mm hollow points." Period. And that's what you really got to love about the fine, upstanding white British terrorists, you know, is that their quotes, you know,
yes.
their quotes are so much more, I don't know, easy on the ears. You know, they're nice to listen to instead of, "I ain't going and fix that baby, yo, the bitchin' families, you know how they get." Well, it also said that, quote, "Yes, people will die. There's no question about that." Period.
Yeah.
Police computer expert Paul Wells says Libbard's laptop was used to access a, quote, dark web marketplace called Evolution. A user named Donald Trump paid for gun parts and ammunition with the online currency Bitcoin. You stupid idiot. Well, Libbard was arrested November 3rd after police received a tip-off that someone alarmed by his Facebook posts. Dry said that Libbard told police he had planned a massacre, but also said that the plot was a fantasy he did not plan to carry out. Of course, what tipped him off on the Facebook posts,
Yes.
He wasn't all staunch and polite British like he normally is. So that, of course, alerted some of his friends. "Oh, my God, he's being impolite." Yes, there it is. So, yes, it also said, yes, people will die, no question about that. And he was, he's showing impoliteness.
Yes.
So, well, Libbard has pleaded guilty to making pipe bombs and explosive devices and processing a 9mm Luger Glock gun, bullets, and CS gas. He denies possessing the items with intent to endanger life, just to use as paperweights. Well, I think if Jenny can get it right, that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah? Can she? There she goes. That's right. The one, the only Jenny McCartney in the booth, pushing the buttons, making us go. Got it right. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get an amen? I want to thank the one, the only director, Academy Award nominated director extraordinaire, Louis Lawless, for being here today, sir. Greatly appreciated it, and it was great having you. Yeah.
He called me, and he called me, and he kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
He means that with love. Also, Gilbert, thank you for being here again today.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
And do the social media plug, because I just don't want to.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
That was very well done. Thank you. Well, and all the listeners out there at HTLA's Coffee and Cigarettes, thanks for listening today. Have yourself one hell of a great Friday night and an absolutely sensational weekend. Once again, thank you to Frankie McDonald for that great weekend weather report. Well, thanks to him, of course, we can go out there, confident with the knowledge that
yes.
it's going to be great weather, and don't forget your rubber boots and your raincoat.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yeah, we'll get that out to you before Monday. I promise. So to all of you out there, have a great day, great weekend, whatever it may be to you. And hey, don't forget to stop by NewYorksBestTalk.com for all of HTLA's wholesome goodness. We'll catch you all later. Have a great weekend. Yes, we'll catch you all later. Have a great one. That's right. There it is. 5 o'clock Eastern. Yes, it is 5 o'clock p.m. in the big city of Manhattan. And, of course, this is HTLA Radio 1, New York's Best Talk. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it is also Monday. Yeah, it's kind of that day where you drag your face on the sidewalk and keep pushing with your legs until you hopefully get to work. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. But hey, we're here to help you fix all that. We're going to fix it up right for you today. Yes, we are, of course, as we always do. HTLA's Coffee and Cigarettes right here. Your Monday Mocha starts now. That's right, and we've got all kinds of stuff today for you on the show, of course. Yes, we do. The big news, of course. Yes, the big, I don't know how many times I can say big news. And, well, it's probably going to end this show. Yes, it is, because the one, the only Jenny McCartney, well, we bid farewell to her today. She's gone off to embark on a life of porn, smut, and debauchery. And, yeah, all to earn a PhD, apparently. Yeah. So, bye-bye. Also, tech issues plaguing New York Magazine's website, of course, after the Cosby cover. We got a transgender idiot suing his Virginia public school for requiring him to use a private bathroom as she can't decide what to do. Other stories today, Louisiana shooting victims are mourned. We've got Florida Coast Guard racing the clock to find missing Florida teens. And, well, the black superstar, yes, a black cop on why he helped the mean white supremacist. Bobby Christina news, money fights, and so much more on the big show today. So, hey, come on in, grab a cup, have a seat, light one up, gang. It's coffee time. Yes, it is. It is coffee time today. And of course, well, you got the change-up pinch hitter going on, and I guess further to our NAACP commitment here at HTLA. That's right. We've got the one, the only Kissy Springer in the booth today, pushing those buttons and making the show go on that PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer. Finally furnished by PreSonus.com. Yes, if you're into audio, whether it be digital or analog, or really, if you like recording fart noises, well, you'll want to get over to PreSonus.com and check out their gear, because it is, after all, number one. Also, this show today is, of course, brought to you by the fine folks, Tim Hortons in New York City. Now, with those 8 fine locations in the city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs. That's right, Tim Hortons is always fresh and spreading across the Northeast more and more every day. Certainly you folks in California won't have to worry. Soon you'll be sucking on iced cappuccinos. Yeah, even in winter, because it's still 75 degrees in L.A. Yeah. Maybe after this show's done... Well, the show's really done. Jenny's gone, so maybe I'll move out to L.A. and do a show there and wait for the ice caps. That'd be a good idea. Anywho, moving on today, we have to, of course, introduce the fine folks who assist me in guest hosting this lovely show. And it's coming to us first live from the beautiful Mill Bay Studios in downtown Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, is the one, the only film director Academy Award nominated up the butt. The one, the only, Mr. Louis Lawless, yes, coming to us live via satellite. That's how he likes it. That's what we say. There's nothing else to it. Louis, are you there, sir?
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
Yeah, we do, I think, just about every day.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Always a big plus, especially in your biz.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yes, I did read that in Variety about 6 years ago.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. You know.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Today, I think you're pretty safe. We've got the Kissy Springer in the booth there, and well, she's that black girl that we had do our various sweepers and whatnot. We're new. Give them a hint, Kissy. Let them know what you're. There you go.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
There you go. That's right. We are. Thank you. That's enough. Yeah, so we've got Kissy in the booth there, and, of course, she's black, so she's helping us further our NAACP goals, of course, on the show. So I'm going to say, I taught her myself this morning after Jenny walked out in her little pornographic rage. She... Yes, there's Mr. Gilbert. He's standing by. That's always good to know. Yeah. No, Louis. So we've got Kissy in the booth today. She knows what to do because, of course, like I say, I taught her myself. Everything's going to be good. So you feel free to cuss all you want. Kissy's got you on that 20-second delay there. So fill your boots.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Evidently, Kissy needs more training. But that's okay. I'll.
That was a mistake on my part.
No, I'm not going to blame you. I said you could do it, and you did, and she didn't. And
yes.
Yeah, there it goes. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah. Well, moving on today, of course, coming to us from about 8 blocks down the street from HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan. Yes, of course, Times Square number 2. That's where we're at. And, where Gilbert's at, we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
But he's close by, and
Yes.
and he's here today, and thank you for being here, sir. It's great having you, and please, whatever you do, Gilbert,
Yes.
don't leave the show and go into porn. Please don't. Please don't do that. I don't know, I would have to look, of course, and it would remind me too much of that alleyway.
Yes.
I couldn't get an erection after that. I just couldn't. But great, thanks for being here, of course, Gilbert.
Yes.
Yeah. And Louis, of course, and
You being Catholic, you realize that you can have birth control. You realize that?
well, I don't need it anymore, Louis. She left. Yeah. So, we can just get on with things now and say goodbye to every listener we ever had because they only hung around here for her. Yes. And, of course, I guess before we move on today in the show,
yes.
I guess I should remind the folks that, hey, if you're not down there, check out Spreaker.com. Get yourself on over there and put in the little search window, HTLA Radio 1. You, of course, will be directed right to the live Spreaker.com chat room today, where, of course, we have the lovely Sharon Chesley, who I'm pretty sure was here for... Yeah, I think she was here for Jenny. And, of course, HTLA's very, very dear friend, yes, the topless intern. Yes, he is here as well, showing his hairy man boobs. And, Certainly, any of you out there, if you would like to come and join the fine crew at Spreaker.com, you certainly can and become yourself one of the all-stars of Spreaker. Yes. Alrighty, so moving on today, we've got lots of stuff to cover, and of course, not all of it's good, of course, but some of it is, no, it's not good. No. It's not good, but, we just got to cover it because that's our job. It's the stories,
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just saying, actually, that we do too, idiot. And, of course, because Jenny is no longer here, yes. And Kissy is, really having trouble with all the lights and buttons, I actually had to get my own bloody coffee today. It's not a fun thing, Gilbert.
Yes.
It's just not. God, I've had women make coffee for me for 12 years now. I forgot how to do it, and my coffee tastes like shit. Thank you very much.
I think it should be short and sweet.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like drinking poop. Well, moving on today, let's get into it. There's all kinds of stuff going on today that matters to you.
Yes.
That was my Monsanto to you.
Yes.
My Monsanto to you. Yes. Well, moving on today, of course, first story up for bids on the, the news story is just so wrong. Of course, tech issues now plaguing New York Magazine's website after the Cosby cover. That's right. New York Magazine's website experienced technical difficulties today in what appears to be a hacker attack. The site went down hours after publishing a story Sunday evening featuring 35 women who accused comedian Bill Cosby of sexual assault. The site, which has been sporadically available and unavailable and then available again and unavailable... Well, it was back up as of 2:30 p.m. this afternoon, and of course, the buzz all over Twitter and all that stuff going on. A hacker by the name Threat King claimed responsibility for the downside on Twitter. Shit, I'm going to go on my Twitter right now, Crash Talkin'. I'm going to go on there. I'm going to claim responsibility for it. We'll have a. We'll have a little tweet off. Yeah, no, bitch, I hacked the site, yo. Oh, yeah, you couldn't code your C++ ass out of a paper bag.
Yes.
Hey, it's at least sure to get me, 2 or 3 more followers, Ooh, yes, I'd like to welcome the one and only Peter Goodman. Yes, the news guy, the New Yorkite lost in Iceland. Yes, he's just joined us in the live Spreaker.com chat room, and I'm telling you, people, if you're not there, you're frickin' nobody. You just suck so much, I don't know, swirling poo. I don't know. It's the only thing that came to my mind at the time.
Yes.
How many different families do you have?
Louis, we're talking about swirling poo. Did you get that?
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Oh, talk about swirling poo. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. Well, a hacker by the name of Threat King claimed responsibility for the downside on Twitter using the handle @Vikingdom2016. And, Vikingdom2016, the hacker reportedly told an online magazine, The Daily Dot, today that the attack has nothing to do with the Cosby story. I have not even seen the cover, he said in a Skype chat with the magazine. Threat King said he's targeting NewYorkMag.com because he dislikes New York City. Well, prick, come on over to NewYorksBestTalk.com. Got a little something C+ fun for you, bitch.
Yes.
Yes, he just doesn't like New York City. Yes, well, the New York Magazine declined to comment on the issue to us, but has tweeted updates from NY Mag saying that they're working to get the site back up. This little effer is good. While we work to get our site up for everyone, we've published the full story over on, yes, the free failsafe, Tumblr.com. Yeah. There you go. So there you go, folks. If you ever have a situation where NewYorksBestTalk.com gets taken down now by an effing hacker. If you ever have that situation, rest assured you can get all of your wonderful HTLA content at Tumblr.com.
Yes.
Now, moving on today, we're kind of going from, that kind of serious story.
Yes.
We're kind of going to something that's, not serious, and really, it should be like the last thing on the show. Yeah. But it got me so bloody pissed off. And, Jenny the porn star's not here.
Yes.
And Kissy is certainly not going to be one to tell me, oh, no, not that story. I've decided to change things up and bring this right up to number 2 today. Yeah? That's right. And what do you think would piss Crash off so much?
Yes.
What could it be? What could it be?
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Okay, Louis, but that's not it. That didn't piss me off at all.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
Yeah, but you didn't, and that doesn't piss me off. Yeah. That's fine, you know.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
I really don't know what Louie's talking about now. Well, what use, you may ask, O listener of grace.
Yes.
Yes, listener of joy and Monsanto Radio.
Yes.
What would have had me change up the news lineup today? Well, how about this? A transgender student is suing his Virginia public school for requiring him to use a private bathroom. I don't know what is the problem.
Yes.
Born a girl,
yes.
Okay, and still a girl, has not undergone any surgery or spent any frickin' money.
Yes.
Okay. No, you just identify as Caitlin. Yes. Well, she's still a girl.
Yes.
16 years old.
Yes.
Goes by the name of Gavin Grimm. Yes, Gavin Grimm, of course, now identifies, of course, as a boy.
Yes.
And claims that the school's policy is discriminatory because they make him, her, instead of going to the him's room or the hers room, makes him, her go to a private bathroom in the principal's office. Now, far be it for me
yes.
to, of course, say anything about this.
Yes.
But here's the thing. It seems to me the school has already made extreme dispensation for your, I'm going to say, psychological retardation.
Yes.
By letting you from the sounds of the story, Gilbert,
yes.
it actually sounds like they're letting it. They're letting the student being. They're letting the student being use the principal's shitter.
Yes.
Yeah. So now is that not wow? That's above and beyond PC. That's taking it right up to PP level.
Yes.
Here. Well, okay, you're a girl, but you're a guy, and,
yes.
and you don't know. You can't choose between the girl's room or the guy's room. You can't choose. So here,
yes.
By all means, use my presidential palatial bathroom.
Yes.
You confused little. I don't know what the hell to call you. Okay, so there he, she. I don't know if you say he, she, or she, he. I guess there's an
yes.
Yeah. I don't.
How many different families do you have?
What is that? Shut up. Oh, shit. During the commercial break, Kissy, I'll teach you where the mute button is. So anyway, now the little, well, I can't even call him a little dick.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This isn't hard, you morons. There's only 2 genders. If you've got a pee-pee, that room. If you've got a vagina, that room. Anyway, now, the Virginia public school system now has to undergo and it's being taken all the way to the Supreme Court, of course, because, this is effing important.
Yes.
Oh my God! All these transgender students. Where are they to pee? To pee?
Yes.
Or not to pee? That is most definitely the question. Actually, no, the question isn't that.
Yes.
The question is 15 cents a bullet. Well, actually, no, that's not even the question. That's the answer.
Yes.
All right, now back to the important news. I'm sorry. I had to bring that up. It ticks me off to no end. It really does. Oh, my goodness. See, now I thought that because Jenny wasn't here,
Yes.
the show was really going to drag today. Yeah, not so much. We're already at first commercial break. Oh, well, what are you going to do when you live in that damn shoe, right?
It's about fucking time. Move on. Move on.
Okay, we'll get that button issue fixed right up quick.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go for that 2-minute break. Don't you go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the Coast Guard racing that clock to find the missing Florida teens back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions? Abundant with rich, fertile soil. What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was
beautiful.
A broom closet.
But the
worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I remember growing up, it seemed like Juliette Prowse was on TV every day.
Oh, yeah.
And much like Charlize Theron, she also was an African American.
Well, there you go. And it's good that you mentioned that, of course.
Yes.
Because we're now officially into our NAACP segment. That's right, mothers. You back on the HTLA, New York's best jigaboo music. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Can we get an all my niggas?
Yes.
Can we do that? Yeah. Oh yeah. All my niggas. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that back again, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, of course, it is that time. HTLA, Coffee and Cigarettes. This is your NAACP segment. Yeah.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're actually going to be sending that out to you right after the next segment, bro.
Oh, my God, he's becoming black. I like it. Do a little rap here, too.
Oh, you don't want me to do a rap, trust me.
Yes.
No. No, I made the mistake of doing that before, and, well, that lost us about $3 million. Yeah. Well, we've got all kinds of stuff coming up today, of course, but we're going to get right into it now, of course. We're back from the commercial now, of course. So
yes,
that does mean that we do have to indeed go to our HTLA Coffee and Cigarettes Traffic on the Ones with, the one, the only, Brock Favors. Yeah. There he is. So let's go to Brock, get the traffic update, and then, of course, the weather.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here in the chopper, but I got to tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh, no, stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10. It is massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh, oh my God! Woo! Okay. Okay, I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, we ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me! Oh, mama! But a 405 is up right now. Ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Going down.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Oh, that just was, Louie. Yeah. He's left us now. HTLA, of course, would like to offer its condolences to the Favors family. Yes. And, of course, moving on, as it is that time again, and, well, after much kicking last week, he still somehow has his scrotum intact and is ready to do the weather. That's right, so I'm not going to put it off anymore. Yes. Let's just get to it.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, it's mine too. Yes, it's time for your Monday weather outlook with the one, the only, HTLA's meteorologist, Frankie McDonald.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Massive blizzards headed towards Maine on Tuesday, January the 27th, 2015. It's going to bring 30-plus centimeters of snow, especially in Bangor, Maine, and Portland, Maine as well. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to be
it's July,
zero
right?
visibility. It's going to be blowing and drifting snow, which is 6 to 12-plus inches of snow for the state of Maine, including Bangor, Maine, and Portland, Maine. Since a low-pressure system is going to develop off the east coast of the United States, then a low-pressure system is going to intensify and move up the east coast of the United States. That's going to cause blizzard conditions in Portland, Maine, Bangor, Maine, Lewiston, Maine, and the rest of the state of Maine on Tuesday, January 27th, 2015. It's going to bring blizzard conditions, howling winds, blowing and drifting snow, whiteout conditions, and zero visibility. It's going to be very strong winds, blowing and drifting snow for the state of Maine, including Portland, Maine as well.
That's bad.
It's going to be a intense snowstorm with
Okay.
blizzard conditions on Tuesday, January 27th, 2015.
2015, yeah.
In Maine.
Okay.
People in Maine,
Yes.
be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, have your winter jackets ready. Hats and gloves and scarf and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Have your iPads charged. Have your iPods charged. Have your cell phones charged. Have your laptops charged. Have your tablets charged. Have your 3G, 4G ready. When you go outside, don't walk too far. If you don't like the blizzard, don't go outside.
Oh, okay.
Because it's going to be blizzard conditions. When you drive the car, take your time, drive the car. Slow down so you don't get into car accidents. Make sure to have your shovels ready, snow scoops ready, snow blowers ready, snow plows ready, and salt trucks ready as well.
Mm-hmm.
Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep you warm.
Red-
Have your furnaces ready. Turn on your furnaces to keep the house warm.
Red
Since
tea?
it's going to be a massive blizzard for Maine on Tuesday, January 27, 2015.
15, right. Okay. Thank you very much, Frankie, for that.
If anybody living in Maine, be prepared for a massive blizzard on Tuesday, January 27, 2015.
Pizza?
Best luck to you.
Chinese
People
food?
in the state of Maine,
Yeah.
be prepared for a massive blizzard on Tuesday. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a massive blizzard. Stay warm, be safe.
Okay, Frankie, we got it. Yes, once again, apologies. That was HTLA meteorologist Frankie McDonald with your weather from only 6 months ago today.
Yes.
Yeah. That's, I guess that's an improvement. I guess he's, been studying hard over the weekend
Yes.
to kind of bring his stuff up to date there from 2 years ago. And I think he's actually got it now.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
I didn't get a chance to help Kissy with that. I didn't, to be honest. It's okay, but
And I think there were complaints about it.
no, we get them all the time. Do you think I listen? Holy Christ! I mean, this whole Jenny McCartney thing. This is really stupid.
Yes.
I mean, I had. We've got like 300 freaking emails that we get. Oh my god! I got messages. I've only got 700 friends on Facebook. I've got like 1,200 frickin' messages. Where's Jenny? It's nice and everything.
Yes.
She was nice to look at. It's a good eye candy. But now she's some porn some cam girl or something, and I can go and beat your lizard off to her on a video camera. I don't know. But whatever, she's gone. Don't care.
Yes.
I personally, well, geez, is that fair to say?
Yes.
No. Why don't you, Gilbert, why don't you break this up? Give us some Jerry Lewis directing Hervé Villachez. Yeah.
Here's Jerry Lewis directing Hervé Villachez. Hervé, can you act with the realistic person acting? Yes, Mr. In France, we admire you. Oh, thank you, you short midget person. We do not like that term, midget.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, little person with the thing with the thing.
Oh, man.
It's not awful, but just not good.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Well, moving on.
So I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking.
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable. So let's not do the talking.
Yeah.
Let's not and say we did. We got to move on here, of course, because the Chillicothe police look now for links between the West Virginia shooting and dead Ohio women. Oh, yes, because clearly there would be a link there. Yeah. Well, in Chillicothe, Ohio, local investigators are looking into any possible connection between an Oregon man killed by an escort in West Virginia and a local missing woman in homicide cases. Wow, these cops will just jam anything together to get rid of some of those cold cases, won't they? Well, Chillicothe Police Public Information Officer Bud Little said that they're still checking whether a Neil Falls 45-year-old may have visited Chillicothe or had any connection to the area. As it stands right now, we have nothing that ties him to anything here, so yeah, next window. Of course, however, they aren't ruling him out yet, and as a team is planning to go to Charleston, West Virginia in the near future, Ross County Sheriff's Deputy T.J. Hollis said he thinks this is just an excuse for cops to go on a little trip. Well, Falls was killed in Charleston about 2 hours from Chillicothe on July 18th while attempting to choke an escort he'd met through Jenny McCartney's new webpage there, Backpage.com. Yes. Web-based classifieds advertiser, of course, according to Charleston police, after finding several axes, a shovel, bleach, handcuffs, knives, a machete, and other regular household items. Yes, the investigators began pursuing any potential connections with similar cases across the country. Because of Chillicothe's proximity, investigators believe there could be a connection in the disappearances of Charlotte Trego, 27, and Wanda Lemons, 37, or the deaths of Tiffany Sayer, 26, Tamika Lynch, 30, or Shasta Hammerlick, 20, or anybody else that any other law enforcement officials would like to throw in. Well, on Friday, a Ross County grand jury indicted a local man, Jason McCrary, 37, in the May shooting death of 38-year-old Timberly Claytor. Motive for her death remains unknown, and investigators have not found any evidence so far that links him to any of those cases either. Yeah. Well, according to the Huffington Post, Charleston police also have contact with, or connected with Las Vegas police, regarding the last 4 cases there involving missing or murdered prostitutes. Let's throw those on, too. While Falls most recently was known to live in Springfield, Oregon, he has had connections in several other states, including Nevada, Iowa, Washington, Kansas, New Mexico, California, Oklahoma. Yeah, that's normal. Are you sure you coppers aren't making crap up? Well, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System database, there are at least 360 women who have been reported missing in 2014 that he may have killed. Man, that's a busy boy. That's what that is. I mean, you know, that's like, God, that's just about one a day.
Yes.
And this year, many more women remain unaccounted for. Trego and Lemons are among 24 Ohio women still missing from the past 5 years. Although the task force organized to investigate the Chillicothe cases has said that the women are connected through drug use and prostitution, Little said investigators don't know definitely whether any of them had advertised on Backpage. It's unclear how many missing women across the nation have similar pasts, but according to HTLA, as many as 1/3 of repeat killers have included prostitutes among their prey. Well, it's that thing, you know, it's a Saturday afternoon,
yes.
You get a big dick and you go, I gotta stick it in something, you know? Well, our hope is that their families, is that we find them alive and bring them back to their families, Little said. Although he said there is little hope of that. And moving on today, of course, finally get to that story now. The Coast Guard is racing the clock to find the missing Florida teens, and had I read it 20 minutes ago when I was supposed to,
yes,
they would have been found alive. However, because I did not get it out till right now, and well, one of the HTLA listeners out there that would have called in the tip that would have saved the little beggars' lives didn't happen. Well, the Coast Guard search and rescue teams and a Navy destroyer were racing the clock today to bring home two boys missing in the vast Atlantic Ocean. since they left South Florida in a 19-foot boat 3 days ago. Petty Officer Mark Barney told us that the primary search area was moved to an area north of where the capsized boat was found yesterday, 67 miles off Daytona Beach. The search area now continues to above Jacksonville, which makes it 90 miles north of Daytona and 250 miles north of the boys' home in the Jupiter, Florida area. The Gulf Stream is pretty powerful current, Barney said, but we have quite a few people searching, and we hope we can pull this off. Authorities said Austin Safros and Perry Cohen, both 14, were last seen about 1:30 Eastern Friday in the Jupiter area buying $110 worth of fuel. They were reported missing less than 4 hours later. Coast Guard found the boat late Sunday morning. A rescue swimmer lowered from an MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter confirmed the registration number. The boat was not damaged, and one life jacket was found on board, authorities said. Coast Guard also said there was numerous shark bites out of the boat. Yes, the Coast Guard anchored the boat where it was found for retrieval later. The agency released a video showing the boat bobbing upside down in the water, with the diver reporting some details such as the cover missing from the motor. Barney would not speculate on how long the boys could survive if they were in the water, because that's only 19 minutes. You see, they won't tell you that.
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
Sorry, parents. Your boys are dead. That's right. He also dismissed earlier reports that the boys were planning to travel to the Bahamas, saying they were sufficiently sea-wise to know that they didn't have the supplies required for such a journey. Although the two boys frequently fished together in the Jupiter Inlet area where they were not prepared for an extended ocean outing, Barney said. Yes, because being prepared stops young kids from doing stupid shit. Yes, that's right. Well, we can only go with what we know as fact, he said. We can't really speculate at this point as to what happened out here. Well, that's the beauty about HTLA. We can. All right, so they got their $110 worth of fuel,
yes,
and they cruise out, and,
yes,
and they're going and they're going and they're
yes.
They also have a couple of 2-4s of beer.
Yes.
Okay. Because, you know, these are 14 and 15-year-olds.
Yes.
So they're cruising and they're drinking and they're drinking, yes, and they're cruising and yes, they're getting more and more loaded and yee-haw. And then one of them says, hey, let's go to the Bahamas and get some pussy. And much like the days of old with legends Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin... yes, the young boys set off on the great expanse to go get pussy.
Yes.
Well, we all know, things went wrong. Yes. Yes, they ran into a little snag. They ran out of gasoline. However, being tanked up themselves by beer...
Yes.
And within full visual sight of the islands, the beautiful Bahama Islands. Yeah. Yes, they decided, screw it, we can just swim it. And swim they did, yes. The two boys leaped from the boat and yes, swam and swam, and they kept swimming until the great jaws of the deep came up and swallowed them. And then, 2 days later,
yes,
well, we had that windstorm out there off the Florida coast that, well, that would have capsized the boat and left it floating down to, just about where they found it. So there you go. That's my Wolf Blitzer CNN speculation update. There you go. Both boys are dead, and the arm or a couple of fingers will be retrieved in the coming days with a blood alcohol of 6.3. There you go. If you'd like to thank me for that, parents, you can email me. Well, Barney said the Coast Guard appreciated the offers to help from private boaters, but said the agency discourages that type of involvement because we might actually find them. Well, the search effort prompted the NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath, as a neighbor of one of the boys, to offer a $100,000 reward. All right, since I've just told you what exactly happened to them, do I get that money, Namath?
All right, go a half an hour. Do I get $50,000?
Well, I'm trying to figure this out right now, Louis. Well, Namath said he hoped the appeal for information could help with the search. He told reporters on Sunday that the boys are both skilled boaters. But when they get some beer in them, they think they can swim the English Channel or something, you know? He says, we've got to believe in their wherewithal. We'll keep looking until we find them. We're all praying the good Lord's got to help us out. Well, I don't know about Dad, but, you know, the good old Crash Jesus here just told you. There you go. Moving on today, of course, we mourn, of course, another shooting victim.
Yes.
Yes, and we've got to ban all guns.
Yes.
Ban all guns. It's the damn guns, I tell you. Well, in Franklin, Louisiana, more than 450 people crowded into a historic Catholic church today to say goodbye to Macy Burrow, one of two women killed in the shooting rampage at a movie theater 4 days ago in Lafayette. Burrow, 21, was remembered as a kind young woman with a beautiful smile who loved her family. The Reverend Lloyd Benoit told mourners at the Church of the Assumption that he knew Burrow from the years that she had attended Hanson Memorial High School. She was always kind, she was always polite, and always with that characteristic smile, Benoit said. In many ways, Macy radiated God's love to those around her. She was a saint, wasn't she? Well, no, Gilbert, because, you know, you've got your regular teenagers that are just, you know, frick the world and screw you and F off. And then you've got those other teenagers that are like, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a boy, I'm a girl. I don't know what I am. I need a bathroom. But then, you know, every once in a while you get that diamond in the rough that just glows holy heavenly light and bestows healing on the sick and injured. So clearly this girl here, well, Jesus, that's the next Mother Teresa that's dead. I'm sorry. That's right. She radiated God's love to those around her. Yes. Actually, she was a foul-mouthed little bitch that drank too much. But we're not here to hear about her party stories.
Yes.
No. Through her, we experience in some way God's incredible love. Yeah, I know what way they're talking about. Yeah. Well, the evil act that took Burrow's life was not the will of God, but the result of a troubled person who made the decision to take innocent lives, and no one knows why, Benoit said. Well, no, it wasn't. It was the gun's fault. Well, the city of 120,000 has been focused on healing since John Russell Hauser stood up at a showing of the romantic comedy Trainwreck and began shooting into the crowd. Bro and Jillian Johnson, 33 years old, were killed in the, I guess, objection to no Jennifer Aniston? I don't know. Well, Johnson's funeral was also happening today. 9 other people were wounded. Hauser, 59, who had a history of mental illness, fatally shot himself after officers arrived, police said. Authorities did not determine why Hauser, who lived much of his life in and around Columbus, Georgia, chose a movie theater 500 miles away from his home for a shooting spree. Benoit said he knew everyone was asking why the tragedy happened. It's a question for which I have no answer, he said. Well, then why are you talking? Yes, no one knows when they suddenly will lose someone they love, Benoit said, so take nothing and no one for granted. Okay, Benoit, I love you, man. Parents, hug your children. Tell them that you love them often. Christ, he doesn't know my kids. Yes, tell your friends you love them on a regular basis. No, I can't think of anybody. Well, Barreau loved to dance, apparently, but more than that, she loved her family, her faith, and her trust in God. And don't forget that holy light that used to emanate from her. Yes, we'll get her family and friends through this difficult time, he said. We must stick together, work together, and pray together for each other, he said. She's dead. She doesn't care. So there you go. It's all about each other in Virginia today.
Yes.
And, well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Now, moving on today, we got some black news, but it's not the usual kind of black news, you know, where black people are killing everybody and getting away with it. It's not that. No. In fact, this black news actually comes to us from a black cop. Yeah. Oh, no, they have those, Gilbert. Well, Leroy Smith is a man as nuanced and caught between two realities as the state he serves. Earlier this month, the African-American state trooper donned a civilian suit to watch as South Carolina rolled up the Confederate flag rolling over its state. Actually, you assholes, that's the Tennessee flag. Thank you. Once again, the Confederate flag is actually much the same structure as the current United States flag,
Yes.
but of course, instead of the field of stars all across it, no, it's just a circle of 17 idiots. So he watched as they rolled up the Tennessee militia flag over his state capital, as the New York Times reports in a profile sending chills running along his spine as a racially divisive symbol of the Confederacy was consigned to history. Nope, wrong one. Well, 8 days later, he was back at the Capitol, this time in uniform, as protesters decried the flag's removal, gently guiding an older white supremacist. Oh, isn't that nice? He's helping the white supremacist. Helping a white supremacist seemingly overcome by the heat to crouch inside the air-conditioned State House in a photo that went almost immediately viral. Smith's explanation, quote, "I think it's the greatest thing in the world. Love," he says. "That's why so many people were moved by it." He looked fatigued, lethargic, and weak, says Smith, of the unidentified man who was clad in a white supremacist T-shirt. "I knew there was something very wrong with him," he said. The two men didn't talk much, notes the Times, other than Smith's quiet words of encouragement as they climbed the State House steps. An aide to Governor Nikki Haley snapped a picture of the two men, unbeknownst to Smith, sensing a moment of grace as South Carolina struggled to cope with a racist tragedy. In that moment, Leroy Smith was the embodiment of all that, says Haley's aide. If you want to check out the full piece, you can go to thenewyorktimes.com. And, you can actually see in the photo that there's that same godly light emanating from him, too. So there it is. Now, before we go for our second commercial break, of course, we've got the big news that probably everybody is waiting for.
Yes.
No? Oh, okay. I'll just keep it to myself then. That's fine. Yes, another of God's light has been extinguished today. Yes, the absolutely grace-filled holiness herself.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. Bobby Christina Brown is finally at peace, according to the Associated Press. The daughter of the late Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown has passed away at the age of 22. And in a statement, her family says she's finally at peace in the arms of God. Though her godly light be gone from here, her godly light shines up there. Wow, I think that we should have a national holiday. This should be like All Saints Day or something. Yes. Everybody's a saint, you know?
$88,000 a year they make.
Yeah, well, saints, they do a lot of work for not much. Yeah. That's true.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
That's probably a good thing that you didn't have a gun. Because, you get the booing and screaming thing in the theater, Louis, and then, you pull a gun out.
Yes.
It all goes to hell.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
Oh, is that why you were booing and screaming? Is that, well, I mean, that could be, but I don't know.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, gang. Well, we're going to go for that next second commercial break. Yes, the second in a whole hour. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Okay. All right. You break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'll absolutely blame you.
Break for a commercial.
Well, there we go. HTLA Program Director Gilbert Gottfried has spoken. Yes. So we're going to go for that break, but don't worry. When we come back, we've got the story. Yes, on 4 continents on this planet right now, historic droughts are wreaking absolute havoc. We're all going to die. Oh, my God. Well, actually, to be fair, I've said that we're all going to die many, many, many times.
Yes.
On this show. And,
yes.
I know, we're still here. I know. But yeah, we're going to go for that commercial break. Don't worry, when we come back, we'll give you that, havoc drought story, of course. We've also got some Obama news. Yes, for some damn reason, Spain's king and queen want to come and visit him. My only hope is it's to shank him.
Yes.
That's my only hope. I'm thinking, yes, we can. Yes, we can, Time for a change. Yes. All kinds of stuff. Southwest nose landing at LaGuardia. We got that. It was the captain's fault. He was drinking again. And really all kinds of stuff. So fasten your seatbelts, folks. The no smoking sign is on. We'll be back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's get to the one store with more #1 choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So, and here's Hervey Village's incentive 1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your name is Daphne, because I smell the perfume, and I hear the southern accent. So, did you just salute to me, even though I'm blind?
Yeah. Ah, you know.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
Well, you know, Jenny's gone, so I got back together with the wife. Yeah.
Always with a female having a relationship, married or single, it's always better that they do the leaving. If you do the leaving, it keeps that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, and we wouldn't want to linger.
Yes.
That's right. Welcome back today to your Coffee and Cigarettes Monday Mocha. That's right, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. Where it is, 81 degrees right now, Central Park, sunny skies. It's a great day to be alive. Isn't that right, all you dead folks? Yeah. Yes, I believe my show can transcend the dimensional portals, and I speak to dead people.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawler.
Yeah, I talk to dead people. I'm not sending you anything.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the show, of course. And, hey, if you're not in here, get in here. Spreaker.com, live chat room right now. That's where the superstars of Spreaker reside. And, indeed, some of the dead people that I do talk to. Yeah. Just a reminder, of course, today we got the one, the only Kissy Springer in the booth today, pushing the buttons for us, making the show go, and so far she's doing not a bad job. You know,
yes.
I think I like it. You know, who would have thought that you could actually teach a black girl to? Yeah.
Oh my God, he's becoming black. I like it.
No, I'm not, but I'm teaching them.
Yes.
I'm doing my part. I'm trying to raise the level of education in the United States, one Negroid at a time. That's what I'm doing. Oh, she's got her headphones on and giving me the finger.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow when we'll have somebody else in the booth pushing the buttons, making the show go a course. Maybe Gilbert, I'll just get you to do it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, why not? You can do it. Yeah?
I'm ready.
All right. It's my kind of can-do man right there. Yeah.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
And I'll make sure to teach you how to use that button.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, so that he doesn't do that anymore. Yeah.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
I told you I emailed Trump. I'm waiting for a response. Yeah. Welcome to the one, the only HTLA's promotional director who is still employed here, has not left us for a world of porn. Yes, the one, the only Apocalypse is in the Superstars of Spreaker live chat room right now. Yeah. And as I've said, well, I don't believe he has actually any intention of going and getting some double penetration. I don't. I could be wrong, but just if anybody were to ask me right off the top of the head right now, do I think Apocalypse is going to go get some double penetration action? Yeah. I'm leaning towards no, but I think he's in Vegas, so anything's possible. Yeah. Anyway, if you don't know who the hell Apocalypse is, that's right. Well, here's one of his promos.
Hey, what's up out there? This is Apocalypse. I want to recommend HTLA Radio 1 New York. It produces such great shows like Coffee and Cigarettes or Crash Talk. Let me just tell you, this guy produces so much good stuff. Everything is either educational or witty, but no matter what, you'll get fine entertainment. Never miss out.
Well, That's right. Right from the man himself, right there. That's right. This guy brings you everything. Oh. All right. Really? Okay. I can dig it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just Kissy learning some buttons. That's what that is, of course.
That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, were you playing the Stevie Ray Vaughan there, Louie? Yeah. Oh, it's funny. That didn't seem to be your kind of thing. But,
I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and once again, he is sitting alone at home in his apartment. Yeah. Just so we know that. Well, moving on today, we got all kinds of stuff to cover for you yet today. That's right, on 4 continents, there's historic droughts wreaking havoc. California's historic drought appears to be matched by severe dry spells in 3 other continents: Brazil, North Korea, and South Africa. Well, who cares about North Korea? Let them suck it. Well, all are bearing the brunt of much lower rain than average precipitation, of course, wreaking havoc on millions of people's lives and livelihoods. While the causes vary from country to country, the chances of more intense droughts in the future as a result of man-made climate change is only increasing in regional extremes of precipitation, both more and less remain likely, according to the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is, of course, thanks to the addition of Frankie McDonald, who we go to for our weather now. Well, every drought is unique, says Peter Glick, president of the Pacific Institute, a global water think tank in Oakland. The same drought in California would have very different impacts in other countries, he said. What's considered a drought in Bali, Indonesia, where 6 days without rain is unusual, would certainly not be considered a drought in Libya, where annual rainfall is just 7 inches. The National Drought Mitigation Center reported. In some parts of the world, such as the Middle East, a drought is simply a permanent part of life because the chronic lack of water, making desalination and the reuse of wastewater far more commonplace there, said Charles Iceland of the DC-based World Resources Institute. Overall, tracking droughts globally is difficult. No country outside the U.S. has a comprehensive effort to monitor it. Well, thank God we've got Frankie McDonald. Yes, so says the National Drought Center. The South American nation's worst drought in 50 years is impacting a fifth of Brazil's 200 million people, including those in the megacities of São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Brazil is really suffering, Gleek said. It's pushing the infrastructure to the limit, he said. Please send cases of Coke. And while Brazil has a decent system of dams and reservoirs, no human-built infrastructure is adequate if the drought is extreme enough, Glick says. São Paulo, Brazil's largest city, is now running on emergency reserves of water and has started rationing because of the lack of precipitation, the Global Drought Information System reported. Water in Brazilian cities and reservoirs is extremely polluted, Iceland says, meaning that access to clean water, even at rainy times, is challenging. The drought makes that situation even worse. What little water is left in the rivers and reservoirs is just about unusable in its current state, Iceland said. In Brazil, the wastewater is not treated and just dumped into rivers, which are, well, essentially like open sewers. Kind of like this show. Well, it is, Gilbert, because, you know, where else do you have radio interns leaving for a life of porn, you know? It's, I think, I don't know, maybe I was too hard on the sexual harassment. Maybe that was it. Well, the Golden State's massive water infrastructure system, the most extensive in the world to be exact, is being put to the test by the epic drought, Glick said. California's drought has brought unprecedented water shortages, increased threats to wildlife and crops, higher electric bills, and huge economic losses. As of Thursday, U.S. Drought Monitor, 97% of the state is enduring some level of drought. Each of the state's 12 reservoirs is at a level far below average, as are streams. Above average precipitation during the last 90 days in parts of central and southern California and the Sierra have not included the overall drought or not reduced the overall drought conditions in these areas because they're still too abnormally dry. However, good news is on the way for California as flash flooding is expected in as little as 30 days. And in Africa, drought continues to intensify in the equatorial region and remains entrenched in South Africa. That's God's way of killing you all. That's what that is. Well, South Africa's governments say part of the country we're seeing the worst drought since 1992. It said the eastern province of KwaZulu-Natal is in especially bad shape. Water shortages have reached crisis levels, the government said in a statement. The country had been forced to import corn this year rather than export it as it usually does, the UN World Food Program reported. South Africa, the largest producer in the region, accounting for more than 40% of regional corn output, has estimated production fall of 32% below last year's harvests, WFP spokesperson Jane Howard said in an email to us. There are concerns that there could be significant food supply shortages in the coming months, she added, which means Monsanto Corporation and their stock are sure to skyrocket.
Yes.
Yeah, several dams are at critically low levels, forcing mandatory water cutbacks in most areas. Water is being supplied by some communities by water trucks. The situation we are facing is a very serious one, a South African government official, Nosuma Dubi Nsibi, said in a separate statement. There are no signs of rain coming. We are praying. Well, see, now we should have sent down one of our dead because... You know, like that girl at that funeral.
Yes.
You know, she's so full of God's light.
Yes.
You know, had we known, we could have just sent her down. She would have fixed all that. But no, there we go. Squandering God's resources yet again. That's right. Well, the National Transportation and Safety Board is, well, they're up in arms or something. Southwest Airlines, of course, did a nose landing at LaGuardia, and, well, it's the drunk captain's fault. Yeah. That's right. The Southwest Airlines pilot who landed nose first and skidded thousands of feet to a halt at New York's LaGuardia 2 years ago should have aborted the landing. Federal accident investigators have determined. The NTSB blamed the accident July 22, 2013 on the captain's attempt to recover from a bad landing approach by taking control of the Boeing 737 from the co-pilot at just 27 feet off the ground, rather than simply circling the airport for another landing attempt. The board also blamed the captain for failing to comply with Southwest's own standard operating procedures to abort a landing higher off the ground if the descent isn't lined up correctly with the runway. The flight crew's performance was indicative of poor crew resource management, the board said in a statement accompanying the decision today. The board said that the incident raised safety concerns because 75% of the aviation accidents investigated featured cues that pilots should have aborted their landings. Despite airline flight manuals urging pilots to circle the airport after an unstable approach, a study at an international air safety summit in 2011 suggested that pilots continued landing in 97% of unstable approaches. Southwest plane landed hard enough that the nose gear punched up into the plane's electronics bay and it skidded 2,175 feet, grinding to a halt, according to the investigators. 8 people suffered minor injuries on the flight. 141 passengers and crew members were uninjured. Southwest fired the captain in October of 2013. Documents that investigators released in October 2014 documented the friction between the captain and the first officer during the landing. The 45-year-old captain had flown for Southwest more than a decade, and she had 12,000 hours of flight time, including 2,600 as a pilot in command on a 737, according to investigators. Southwest had hired the first officer, a 44-year-old, year and a half before the incident, after spending 20 years in the United States Air Force. The first officer flew the plane from Nashville, but said that the captain was giving instructions about the landing. The pilots avoided thunderstorms in the area, but they approached the airport with a tailwind the captain said reached more than 30 miles an hour. The pilots agreed to set the plane's wing flaps at 40 degrees rather than the customary 30 degrees to help slow the plane down, according to investigators. But the first officer told investigators that he landed with 30-degree flaps about 98% of the time, and that the higher drag of 40 degrees meant the pilot had to be, quote, on her game. When the plane was about 500 feet off the ground, the captain noticed that the flaps were still at 30 degrees, so she just went and set them to 40.
Yes.
About 27 feet off the ground, 3 seconds from touchdown, the captain took control of the plane, saying, quote, I've got it. And the first officer replied, okay, you got it.
Yes.
According to the plane's black box recording. The plane's nose was pointed down 3 degrees and hit descending at a rate of 60 feet per minute, according to investigators. Southwest Flight Operations Manual says any landing should be aborted when the plane isn't in the proper configuration to land at least 1,000 feet in the air. But the flaps were changed at 500 feet, and the captain noticed the plane was above the intended glide slope at 100 feet in the air, which investigators said were both opportunities to circle the airport for another try. But did she? No. Must have been that time of the month. Well, the board found that the captain's decision to take control of the plane at 27 feet above ground did not allow her the adequate time to correct the plane's deteriorating energy state to prevent the nose and landing gear from striking the runway. She was summarily fired. And moving on today, is there hope for the United States? Will Spain issue that hitman hit for President Obama?
Yes.
We'll find out soon. President Obama welcomes Spanish royalty to the White House in September. King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain come calling on September 15th, the White House announced today. The visit is part of a royal trip to the U.S. that will also take King Felipe and Queen Letizia to Miami and St. Augustine, Florida. Their visit reinforces the strong and enduring ties between the American and Spanish people, the White House said. Spain always punches above their weight. And now we got a little kind of fun story.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's, it's touching. It's heartfelt.
Yes.
It's going to be effing hilarious. No, it is. That's right, because we've got the story for you today, folks. Girl born without a face finds sister across the world. That's right, in Tyler, Texas. Of course, it's Texas.
Yes.
Yes, Tyler, Texas. By the age of 6, Danica Wetmore had only ever lived inside a Ukrainian orphanage. In all that time, Tom and Tammy Wetmore were the only ones who ever visited her. It's just, you felt in your heart. We knew as soon as I saw her. I knew in my spirit. Go get your daughter, says Tammy Wetmore. That's exactly what I felt is, quote, go get your daughter. Well, Danica was born with a Treacher-Collins syndrome, resulting in deafness, bones missing from her face. Because of her challenges, the Wetmores were told the chances were that she'd be turned out of the orphanage when she got old enough to live on the streets. 6 years later, she's happy, loved, and safe with her family. She's quirky, extremely inquisitive, very artistic, Tom Wetmore said. She loves drawing, painting, and expressing herself. Kind of like this.
Yes.
At this point, perhaps you're wondering what would inspire a family to open their hearts to a girl with no face? Well, the answer is their daughter Juliana. She was born into the family 6 years before Danica showed up, and she too has no face. In fact, a much more severe case, along with deafness, she was born with about 40% of the bones in her face. You forget that there's anything different about her. Yeah, no we don't. And of course, here is a conversation we recorded at the interview.
Yes.
apparently that is, Mom, turn on YTV. Yes. That's, to which, of course, the response was, I'm so getting fired.
Yes.
Well, pure love, she loves everybody. And unlike Crash, doesn't judge anybody. Yeah, she doesn't see anybody as different, Tom said. Well, that's because she can't see. She just takes everybody as the same. My favorite thing to do is watch movies with her, watch TV, play on the computer, play with my sisters, Juliana said.
Yes.
Whatever you first think of somebody when you see them on the outside, it's not what they are on the inside, Tom says. What is Julie on the inside? Well, she's a girl whose strength inspired her parents to find room in their hearts for Danica. To understand the challenges ahead better than most, she had even been in an orphanage for 6.5 years, and no one had visited her, largely because her conversation skills were lacking. Well, we were the first and only ones, Tom added, and the Wetmore's love didn't stop with Danica. No, after her, they still have more room in their hearts to adopt 3 more siblings who apparently have no faces either. Of course, you can be looking for the, what is it, the HBO reality series now, or is it going to be on Discovery?
Yes.
Yeah, Face Off. Yes. Yeah, it's just amazing how your daughter that you can look at as normal every day. No, you can't. Yeah, right. I can see it now. You know, old Tom gets up.
Yes.
And, oh, that was a good sleep.
Yes.
I think I'll go down and get some coffee.
Yes.
Oh, Oh, go past the kids' room. For the love of God, what the hell is that? Oh, right. That's my daughter's. Yes. Yes, it's just amazing. You look at them as normal. Everyday child that looks a little bit different. Holy crap, have you seen the pictures? I'm serious. It looks like a butthole with hair.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Oh, yes, the child looks a little bit different, but has changed so many lives, Tom says, because you realize it's okay to be who you are. Nothing, it seems, comes easier to Juliana than that. Except speech. Well, I'm out of a job now, so... well, why not? You know, if I drive a girl away to the porn business,
yes.
You know, I think really my job in radio is over. Yeah, I do.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, yeah, and it's it's pretty much the summation of my entire life, Louie. Yeah. So, yeah, Gilbert, maybe, I guess you'll host the show tomorrow.
Yes.
I guess, yeah.
It's not awful, but just not good.
No. Do you think you can actually do it, though?
Same thing.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Well, we've got something that, well, definitely Gilbert and I both need to be very, very cautious and very wary of. Of course, a group has ranked Montgomery, Alabama, has been named the most sexually diseased city.
Yes.
There you go. Montgomery, Alabama has been named the most sexually diseased city in the nation, according to one group's ranking of federal data. The rankings released this week and compiled by rentapplication.com. Okay, they use... well, that's a nice house. I think I'd like to rent it. I wonder what the sluts are like around here. You just see that on the realty listing, sluts 4.8.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that neighborhood's not too bad. 4.8 slut percentage. That's... Well, they used, of course, 2013 data from the CDC and prevention. The study reflects reports of syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. Herpes data is not collected. Rates were measured per 100,000 people, and only cities with significant populations were chosen. It's pretty sobering to look at these as a total, says Tom Miller, Chief Medical Officer for the Alabama Department of Public Health. When we check numbers and try to get the same point as we've reported in this ranking, we think the numbers are in the ballpark in terms of the numbers cited for Montgomery. The take-home here is that with 2014 data, Montgomery will look a whole lot different. The caveat there is that if other cities see the same downward trend, it wouldn't make difference to our rankings, he says. By the numbers, Montgomery had 4,371. Wow, 4,371 reported cases of STDs.
Yes.
According to rentapplication.com. The total number of diseases per 100,000 is 1,899.20. Following Montgomery is St. Louis, Missouri, which had 1,867.54 reported cases per 100,000. Several in the top 10 are in the southern region of the U.S., 3 cities with large military populations, Norfolk Naval Base in Norfolk, Virginia, Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas, and Fort Bragg in Fayetteville, North Carolina. They took the 5th, 9th, and 10th spots, respectively. Montgomery, with a population of 201,332, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, was reported to have following cases per 100,000. Chlamydia, 3,039. Gonorrhea, 1,309. Syphilis, 23. Total STDs reported, 4,371. Miller believes that there is a balance between the diseases coming from transients and those in the Montgomery area. It's difficult to quantify how much is really contributed by specific groups, he says. And no, I know what you're thinking. Las Vegas is not in the top 10. There you go. Well, finally today, yes, we're doing it right. We're doing it right. Oh yeah, all night, baby.
Yes.
Well, the big question on everybody's minds, as we've had yet another glowing godlike child die. That's right. Who will inherit, of course, Whitney Houston's millions? That is the question on everybody's mind now that Bobby Christina Brown is gone. Yes, that another godly light. Yes, is gone. 6 months after she mysteriously fell into unconsciousness, what happens to the estate she was to inherit from her late mother, Whitney Houston? Who will control the estimated millions Houston left in trust for Bobby Christina in her will? Will it be her grieving father, Bobby Brown? He maintained a vigil at her bedside as she lay in a medically induced coma for months in Atlanta hospitals and hospice. Or will it be her maternal family, led by a greedy grandmother? His greedy grandmother, Sissy Houston, or her aunt, Pat Houston, who were also at her side. Well, they have controlled the bulk of Bobby Christina's money under the terms of Whitney Houston's will. One thing is likely: many lawyers will be involved. It's going to be a windfall for the lawyers, unfortunately, says Jerry Reisman, a trust and estate law expert and partner at the Long Island firm of Reisman, Perez, Reisman, and Capobianco. Just 3 years after her mother was found dead in a bathtub at a Beverly Hills hotel, Bobby Christina was found unresponsive and face down in a bathtub in her Roswell, Georgia home. And oh, okay.
Yes.
Roswell, Georgia. I was scared. I thought it was aliens in Roswell, New Mexico. It was the aliens that took that God's light.
Yes.
Yeah, Roswell, Georgia, home, of course, on January 31st. She died yesterday at the age of 22 in a hospice outside of Atlanta. It's still unclear what happened to her and why, but local police and the district attorney have been investigating whether a crime was committed. An autopsy is to be performed by the Fulton County Medical Examiner and could take weeks to produce any results, according to a statement issued today. The Brown and Houston families, who have not seen eye to eye on Bobby Christina for years, may be headed for a long and expensive litigation unless the two families can come to an agreement outside court. They have already demonstrated they can. In April, Bobby Brown and Pat Houston were appointed guardians over Bobby Christina by the Georgia Family Court, and a conservator was appointed to look after her assets. Family court hearings began in Georgia and are closed to the public, so no one in the families has spoken publicly about any proceedings. David Long, attorney for Houston, released a statement for her, saying at the time the guardianship case was a, quote, family member and would not be family matter, not family member. Yeah. It's a family matter and would not be discussed publicly. We hope to resolve this in a manner that is respectful of Bobby Christina's sensitive health information, the statement said. The Houston family has always looked out for the best interest of Bobby Christina Brown. We trust that others have the same objective. But the questions about what happens to her estate suggest a murky legal situation, Reisman says. Everyone is going to try and grab her money, but it's not necessarily up for grabs, Reisman says. It is a lot of money. Don't forget the royalties coming in from Houston's music constantly. The estate is never going to end. Neither could the potential litigation arising from the case of mother-daughter tragedy, he says. Inheritance laws differ from state to state, but he says the terms of Whitney's will are likely to trump all state laws unless the terms themselves are disputed in court. If so, the court would have to determine what Houston's meant to do, he says, but of course general will governs. And under its terms, Bobby Christina was not to get full access to all the money until she turned 30. When Houston died back in 2012, her estimated $20 million estate was left to Bobby Christina, who was her only child. Houston first drafted her will in 1993, and she amended it in April of 2000. But even after that, Bobby Christina inherited everything. All of Houston's money for the furniture, clothing, cars, including the townhouse in Roswell where she had lived and had been living. Sorry, Kevin Costner. Well, the estate was placed in a trust until Bobby Christina turned 21 on March 4th, 2014. At that time, she received 10% of the estate, or about $2 million. The will dictated that she was to get another sixth of the estate when she turned 25, and the rest at age 30. So now what? Well, since she died before she turned 30, who benefits? Well, under the terms of the will, it goes to Sissy Houston and Whitney's two brothers. Sissy was named executor of the will, but renounced the appointment, and Georgia probate judge later named Whitney's sister-in-law and manager, Marion Houston, as the sole administrator of the estate. And what about her father, you might ask? Are you asking that, Gilbert?
Yes.
Good. You should be.
Yeah.
Well, originally, Bobby Brown was listed as a beneficiary in the will, too, but he and Whitney divorced in 2007. Reisman says that means that generally Bobby Brown would not be entitled to any part of his ex-wife's estate now that Bobby Christina has died. But, says Atlanta estate lawyer Bruce Gaines, he could be entitled to whatever Bobby Christina has received so far from the mother's will. For the purposes of Bobby Christina's estate, he is the sole beneficiary. If she has no husband, and if she has no will, says Gaines, of the Kitchens Kelly Gaines firm, Bobby Brown could seek to gain control of some or all of Whitney's millions in trust for his daughter, but he would have to argue that in court, and it would mean a lot of litigation, Reisman adds. And what about the rights, if any, of Bobby Christina's boyfriend, Nick Gordon? Well, Bobby Christina claimed on social media that the two were married. If he can produce proof of this marriage, Reisman says, then he might be entitled also. If they are married in every state, assuming there is no Bobby Christina, the husband has certain material rights to the spouse's estate, and absent a waiver or a prenup agreement, it's almost impossible to prevent that spouse from obtaining a share, if not at all, of an estate, Reisman says. But Bobby Brown insists Gordon was not married to his daughter, and so far, Gordon has not produced any proof. Moreover, Gordon is a possible target of the investigation of what happened to Bobby Christina in the first place, and has been sued for millions by her court-appointed conservator, Bedelia Hargrove. That lawsuit asserts that Gordon beat up Bobby Christina the day she was found, knocking out a tooth and leaving her unconscious and suffering from what her grandmother later said was a, quote, global brain damage, end quote. He also allegedly stole thousands from her bank account while she was unconscious, the lawsuit charges. Ian Halpern, an investigative journalist who looked into the circumstances of what happened to Bobby Christina for his book, Whitney and Bobby Christina, The Deadly Price of Fame. Well, he says police in Roswell may now have to move forward now that Bobby Christina has died. The autopsy is in the final detail, Halpern says. The police will release their findings as soon as they can. My sources say criminal charges are most likely to be filed. Well, could Gordon have a claim as a common-law husband? Well, some states allow common-law marriages. Georgia, where they had been living, no longer does. He's going to have a very difficult time proving they were married, Reisman says, and even if he could make the case, he has no rights to an estate under common-law marriage. Gaines says that if there's a dispute over the states and Gordon's relationship to Bobby Christina, it wouldn't follow a typical reason for such disputes. Could Gordon still benefit? Well, Bobby Christina's relatives could pay him a percentage of her estate to go away, Reisman says, to avoid years of litigation. If he gets lawyers, they would go forum shopping, as we call it, looking for the state with the best possible forum, most favorable to them, Reisman says. If he does bring litigation, he would lose, but it would probably be wise for the family to settle with him. On the other hand, if Gordon is charged and convicted of having some involvement in the events that led to Bobby Christina's death, a settlement is more than unlikely. If he were to be convicted, the state's Slayer statute, which most statutes have, would prevent him from inheriting any of Bobby Christina's estate, Gaines says. So there you go. I hope all that information enlightened you and indeed entertained you. I don't know about you all, but I was not entertained.
Yes.
No, I was not. And, well, there you go. That's all the time. There we go. She's good.
Yes.
I want to thank the one, the only, Kissy Springer in the booth, pushing those buttons for us and making us go on such short notice today, as Jenny just gave us the porn finger just about 3 hours ago. Yeah. Also, thank you to Louie for being here again. It was great having you, sir.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Well, yeah.
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know.
I will let you know. I will let you know. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, I hope you make it tomorrow. Yeah. Gilbert, thank you for being here, my friend.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
And because I don't want to, you want to give him that social media thing there?
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Also, to the listeners of HTLA out there, your coffee and cigarettes wants to thank you for listening in today. Loved having you. Spreaker.com live chat room, of course, the one, the only Apocalypse, the intern, Sharon Huddley Chesley, Devlon Crawford, all the superstars of Spreaker. And we're reminding you to tune in tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, for another fine edition. Yes, your Tuesday Espresso is coming up for that 28th of July, 2015. Still 81 degrees in New York City right now in Central Park. Sunny skies. I think it's time for us to get the hell out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do that. So all of you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow.
York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.